Alrighty, Corey Geiger, Neil Riddell with our PSU Presser video. Now, this is kind of a complicated thing that we're going to talk about today a little bit because obviously the fan base is angry about Penn State's offense and all these types of things. But we just heard James Franklin basically say all of this is the strategy that they want to go with. They are scared to death of getting Hackenberg hit, so they're going to be ultra conservative, that this isn't necessarily John Donovan or anything like that. They've all collectively decided, Neil, this is the strategy they're going to go with.
Yeah, and it's been somewhat of an overreaction, and it's definitely been frustrating to the fan base. Now, he did say later in the press conference today that they have not struck the balance in terms of taking the number of shots downfield that they really want to. But I think based on what happened against Temple with the number of sacks, and the thing Franklin keeps hitting on is the turnover margin, how they've been really good with that, and he feels that as long as they don't turn the ball over with their defense, and you know, we've seen this, we're used to it with Joe,
yeah.
But I mean, they've taken it to really the nth degree. We'll see what happens this week. I kind of get the vibe that maybe they'll try to break out a little bit more offensively.
It's such an interesting scenario for me because I totally get what they're doing. Some fans do, some fans don't. I can understand what they're doing and why they're doing it, and they're 4-1. It's scared football to me, is the way it comes across. It's playing not to lose instead of playing to win. I understand that you've got to feel like you want to do these things to keep Hackenberg safe after 10 sacks, but do you really have to do what they've been doing against Buffalo, San Diego State, Army, and Rutgers? So these 4 games were games I thought they could have figured some things out, not go the other direction and basically not try to do anything.
Well, yeah, I guess their way of figuring it out is to do it this way, and you know, it's not pretty. It's certainly not what we saw with O'Brien, even though he made his mistakes at times, maybe trying to be too aggressive throwing the football. You know, I don't know whether they're holding some things back. I got the idea that they're playing very conservatively, not just in their play calling, but you know, in the injuries. I think they've been looking at some other people, and I think trying to get some of these other guys back. Marcus Allen looked like, you know, Jordan Lucas sat out a game, and then he played last week. You know, obviously Barkley's the biggest deal as far as when they would put him in, what he can give you, and just his presence in the background, I think, in the backfield, would change a lot with their offense.
All right, so again, they're doing this on purpose. A lot of people want to criticize John Donovan, but frankly, this is all a collection, and this is James Franklin's strategic decision to be conservative like this. I guess my biggest issue with the whole thing is, are you prepared for Big Ten play now? Because you are 4-1, and that is the most important thing, but you have to get prepared for the level of competition that you're going to be playing, and I don't really think that they've made a lot of strides offensively that can help them win these kind of games they're going to be facing the rest of the year.
I know, and some of it is the injuries. I mean, you know, you would like to think when they begin to make some, you know, you'd like to think that they could protect Hackenberg like they did on the 2 plays where he zipped him down the field, hitting Godwin and Giuseppe, but then Mangiero gets hurt and Nelson is hurt. So it seems like every time they take a step forward, Barkley gave them that step that they had been lacking. Then they get, you know, 2 or 3 guys hurt. So, you know, it's been hard to watch, and it's really been a work in progress. Fortunately, they have a defense that should be able to keep him in most games, but I really think they missed Marcus Allen last week, and they're going to need him back.
All right, Indiana almost beat Ohio State, but Indiana's starting quarterback Nate Sudfeld is questionable. My guess is he either won't play or he'll be very limited. So Xander Diamont, the backup quarterback, who doesn't throw all that well but is a running threat, will probably start. I'm still stunned that Penn State is favored by 8 points. I actually thought Indiana would be favored in this game, but with a backup quarterback in, that's probably 4 or 5 points right there, just in case James Franklin is wondering how point spreads are come across. But what's your score for this game?
I picked a low-scoring game, Penn State 16, Indiana 14. You know, I'm just thinking they do play for field goals. That may be conservative, but conservative's the order of the day.
I've got Indiana winning 20-17, even with a backup quarterback. I just have very little to no faith in Penn State's offense. The defense is good and it will keep them in the game, but I've got Indiana coming in and pulling the upset.
How about the Pirates?
I got the Pirates.
Your wet blanket continues? Let's go Bucks.
Jake Arrieta has the best ERA in the second half of any pitcher in history, so I got the Cubbies winning 3-1.
How about if the Pirates beat the Cubs?
Then I think the Pirates go to the World Series.
There you go.
How about that?
There's
Pirates beat the Cubs, they go to the World Series.
Some warmth from
Well,
Corey
I gave my
Geiger.
score. Where's your score?
I'm rooting for the Pirates at home. They're 1-1 in this wild card game. I think the place is really going to be fired up and be able to. And I think the Pirates' offense is a lot better than it's been the last couple years.
If they get to Arrieta early in a playoff game, first postseason appearance for Arrieta, that I think is the key.
Thank you to Mike Boydum, who's done a great job with our game day coverage.
All right, for Corey Geiger, Neil Riddell, have a good day.